lot of people on the lists that are not getting organs.
There's young children that are waiting for an organ to be saved. There's older individuals.
The vast majority of people, they can't find a compatible donor within enough time.
Every group has people who need transplants.
People die waiting to get organs from people who are dying and aren't going to use the organs.
This is something that's not specific to one individual. You never know who it could be. One day it could be you.
Everybody loves to hear a story about a transplant. But without one donor, we will never hear a story of a successful transplant.
He decided to register to become an organ, eye, and tissue donor.
He was already signed up as a donor.
He believed very highly in organ donation.
I remember those 2 weeks sitting in the hospital with Trav, and all I did was lay my head on his chest.
We thought about others even when our hearts were breaking in pieces. We made the unselfish decision to share our loved ones so others can talk, walk, breathe, and have a beating heart again.
We made the decision to turn a tragedy into a positive.
There's purpose in this pain. Someone is now living because my son passed away.
The act of organ donation represents the best of humanity. These organ donor heroes and their families, in their most difficult times of their life, have thought about saving the life of others and allowed us and gave us the privilege to work with them and their families toward that end. These are the stories that keep us committed to the mission for which we exist.
One of the things that folks don't truly understand is how many different points that must be connected in order for donation to take place.
The doctors, the nurses, the care, the aftercare team, the donor family coordinators, everybody who's on standby to make sure that these organs are recovered and delivered the way it's supposed to be.
This is a calling more than a job.
Organ procurement to me is not a job, it's a mission. I left Minnesota for Miami in 1978, and I've served as the head of the organ procurement organization in Miami for 23 years. Dr. Joshua Miller wanted me to start the OPO and start doing animal surgery as soon as possible. I had done so much work in the animal lab, so I kind of took over that role, being a donor surgeon on every case. In the afternoons or evenings, I would set up lectures out in the donor hospitals on how to do organ donation or speak to anybody who could want to hear about organ donation and transplant.
Back then, there was no cooperation between the OPO and the local DMVs to register people through the driver's license process.
And I was working 100-hour weeks. I was on first call the entire time. After about 6 months, I finally got my first hire. I hired a secretary. Then I was able to get a couple of perfusionists.
One thing that Life Alliance does that is amazing is, and I've had the honor of meeting many of these people, is they take donor families and make them a part of the Life Alliance family.
When I say they care, they care. They care about their donor families. I mean, I'm so passionate about it, I'm about to cry because I've never seen an organization that puts so much hard work and dedication into caring for donor families.
The impact you guys have provided is unbelievably positive, but it's also difficult to measure. because we often wonder, without this support and mission, where would we be as a family?
Life Alliance has helped be there every step of the way from the moment my journey began to this day. They're not just Life Alliance, they're part of my family. And I'm so lucky to have all of them.
I love working with the volunteers. They help us put events together. They help us break down. When we all come together, it's always a success. In addition to that, they come out in the community with us and they share their story.
Some of the biggest challenges that we have is just putting away some of those misconceptions.
And that's our mission in community team with our volunteers actually, is to clarify that misunderstanding, that's wrong information about organ donation, and just spread the word and raise awareness.
Our community education team does an excellent job and a tremendous effort of going out and educating the community to try to increase the number of registered donors.
Our community engagement has multiplied many folds.
I get to go and I educate people about organ donation.
I go around and talk to schools, synagogues, churches.
I go to colleges.
I created the book, Donor Heroes Are Superheroes, to honor all donor heroes for the gifts that they gave.
My mom, being a heart transplant recipient, she dedicated herself promoting the program. She was a mentor. She will be on the radio. She will be on TV. And she even had an appearance at the Rose Parade. After her passing, I dedicated myself to continue her legacy, volunteering and promoting organ awareness.
So I wrote a book titled And the Beat Goes On, and I talked about my son's past, the time I spent in the hospital with him, and then I also talked about the aftermath of organ donation. I've been inside the hospitals, I've been inside the board meetings, I've been everywhere to share my story.
As a family, the three of us, my husband, my son, and me, are active volunteers.
Let's take this moment to honor the donor heroes.
Working with Legacy Donor Services, our relationship with Life Alliance Organ Recovery Organization is very cohesive in providing knowledge to the community about the importance of registering as an organ, eye, and tissue donor.
Life is the only most precious gift you're allowed to have. I was born, yes, but then there was a point in time where I was debating whether I was going to live another day. To be on dialysis 3 times a week for 3.5 hours, you're really limited in what you can do and a lot that you cannot do. Even the people around you are affected. Seeing you in this stage of degradation that you have.
Walking a few steps was very, very hard. I had some more severe heart attacks. Said, there's no more we can do. You have to have a heart transplant. I really noticed that I did not have a future. I was locked in a room with no door.
That whole time area was before UNOS. When we first started doing organ procurement, the whole organ donor information was on 2 sides of 1 page. They designed a telephone. There's a telephone number. And if you had a kidney to offer, you would phone up this telephone number and then record by voice everything about the organ donor. And then when they offered kidneys out, they say, well, you can call this number and get the information you need about the donor.
In the beginning, you really kind of just tried to do as much as possible with what you had. I remember biopsies, you would have to have someone come in and actually look under a microscope and physically be there. All those things, all those logistics that were really time consuming, that kind of, prohibited you from saving as many people as possible.
Remember, the only people in in Miami with a beeper were physicians and drug dealers.
When they received a call in the beeper, they had to stop in a corner, look for a payphone, and then call back.
And then we finally got a cell phone. We got a cell phone for the car. We had a car in the Opel with the emergency lights and sirens.
To give someone a kidney who was on dialysis and had to sit 3 hours, 3 times a week, and for us to be able to give people time, even if it's a few years. Years mean everything when you only have a few days left.
I have a heart. I have a transplanted organ that has given me life. Since my heart transplant, I did have a tomorrow.
I've been able to run again and ride my bicycle and be an athlete again.
After my transplant, I had a second opportunity to live my life, going on vacation, spending time with my family. But I also was the first female in the United States who had a successful pregnancy at 27 weeks. My daughter is now 18, and I have a son who's also 17. And my children also, both of them speak about the importance of organ donations.
Saying yes changed not only his life, but it changed mine. I just cannot imagine me living life with his passing and not having the legacy of what he left behind. It gives me a sense of peace, knowing that he is still here. Organ donation is important because it saves lives. But not only does it save the lives of someone who is waiting for a life-saving transplant, it also saves the lives of the parents or the family who has lost a loved one.
Every family has the right to be presented the opportunity for organ donation.
For someone to have experienced that much loss, to still want to give and save some lives, that was a special family.
Your donor families are golden. They are such wonderful people that, and you get to meet them in the worst times of their lives and work out, what's best for them.
Money can't buy you life. And to have a parent, a stranger, give that opportunity to you, you're only supposed to have the gift of life when you're born. But to have it twice is beyond a miracle. It's beyond gratitude. It's beyond just a thank you.
There's been quite a few developments over the past 45 years of how organs are identified, obtained, preserved, and offered.
Organ donation was limited to a very small subsection of patients. Now, through the advancements of technology, patients are able to donate after cardiac death. Patients that had disease processes that weren't able to be potential donors in the past are now donors.
The techniques for preservation of organs has markedly improved. The understanding of the pathophysiology or the mechanisms by which these organs require sustenance in order to be used in a potential recipient are much better understood. That technology has grown dramatically at the laboratory level, but also obviously at the OPO level. So when we have that synergy, we now can say, of the organs that we're getting, they're much better than they used to be decades ago. They're much better condition for being able to give to a recipient.
Now there's so much technology, so many things that can be done remotely, so much involvement you can get with specialists that are not at the bedside to really maximize the gift from the donor hero.
With Leora, the organ donor log can be generated with the click of a button, and it is 100% accurate.
We started with the Leora system back in 2004. It's a web application that is being used on the field, and we can see it from anywhere. It's actually managing the referral process. We do have the system designed in a way that by phases The user goes one by one, capturing the data that is needed at that particular phase.
We use it for everything, including downloading images, and to also do the upload and download of all the images that go straight to DonorNet. Is expedite our process where we can basically do a donor if needed in maybe 8 hours, when before it took at least 30 hours.
Patient safety drives everything.
We have one donor, but that one donor will save up to 8 lives. And if we do something wrong, that would cause damage to those potential 8 lives. So there is no room for mistake. We always have to have 100% compliance.
The changes that have been made over the years are astounding. We've worked so hard as a collaborative unit between Life Alliance and Memorial to be sure that we're always doing the right thing.
The need for accurate documentation in the 15 years I've been here has evolved greatly. In order to honor the gift that has been given and to honor the lives of those individuals being saved or enhanced, we have to follow our regulators' procedures, their protocols, their policies.
Our organization is relying on the data that we are collecting for improving the processes and to make sure that we every day do a better work with our stakeholders and donors' families.
The unveiling of a mural created in honor of Christian Medina, the 16-year-old Lincoln Park Academy student who was killed in a car accident.
Before the accident, he chose to be an organ donor, and because of that decision, he saved numerous lives.
A young man who went to school with my daughter, his name was Christian Medina. He passed away from a tragic automobile accident, and it affected me deeply because the day after his accident, I took my daughter to school, dropped her off. He had not yet passed, and every student in the entire student body was standing around the flagpole, holding hands and saying a prayer for him. And then to hear the stories of how amazing he was, and the day that his mom decided to honor his wishes of being an organ donor, to see how it affected each of the kids there that day was pretty amazing, because they knew that a piece of him would continue on, and he was just such a great spirit. Afterwards, I learned that I had connections to his family, and I wanted to honor him because of everything that I had learned about him. And that's when we come up with the idea to do the Tree of Life. The Tree of Life concept actually came from the Old Testament. It talks about the fruit that provides life. But the idea behind it is every time someone registers as an organ donor, they can write a little note on a leaf or a flower, and they can stick it on the wall. And his story's on that wall. When we unveiled the wall in Fort Pierce, we had a big event for it, and his mom came in. His mom wasn't even a donor yet. She registered to be an organ donor the day that we unveiled the Tree of Life. It was really interesting that first year or two, because several of his classmates would come to the office to get their driver license, and they were posing for pictures in front of the Tree of Life. We try to put as much information around the office in each Tree of Life, so while customers are waiting in line, they have something on the wall that they can actually read. And then you step into the office and you go walk up to the counter, you're following the footsteps of Donate Life all the way to your counter to be served. In April, it's the blue and green month. Staff's wearing their blue and green shirts every day. Life Alliance brings in guest speakers from time to time. We explain to all the new employees from day one about the importance of donation. We continue to honor Christian every day in our office, even in our logo. We adopted the Tree of Life into the tax collector logo here in St. Lucie County. There's one leaf that in the Tree of Life there that's darker and it's higher than the other, and that is Christian's leaf.
Life Alliance was the first OPO in the country to allocate thoracic and abdominal organs from a dedicated allocation center. Life Alliance was the very first OPO that was able to allocate organs from a donor hero that was living with both hepatitis C and HIV. Life Alliance today is far more complex and far more engaging in our community.
Personally, I have witnessed the growth of the OPO. It has always been on a constant ascending slope.
They have had a marked growth in the number of employees they've had and the techniques and different operations that they've had to develop in order to enhance getting organs. And I see that now the variety and margin of error for getting organs has improved dramatically.
Our best asset is our team. Every team member is as valuable as anybody else, and we all contribute equally. I can easily learn from the newest team member as much as they can learn from me.
Diversity is our strength.
We speak 13 languages out of the 17 most spoken languages across the globe.
If we have a Haitian family, we have somebody in the service that can go help translate.
Working with the diverse population in Leora, it coincides with the diverse population that we exist in South Florida. It makes it more efficient. People who are familiar with the culture, with the way things are down here.
It really bonds us even more and makes us close together.
The volunteers and even the staff, they're like family.
I enjoy working with the people. It makes me feel good. I like to help out the donor families, especially the new ones.
Through the loss of my son, I got to meet wonderful people. My friend Angela, she was the first to reach out to me. You learn to lean on each other, and through Life Alliance and getting the groups together, you form a mother's closeness with each other. And no matter what, you truly are there. You can reach out to anyone, anytime.
We're very good friends.
When I got my heart transplant a little bit over 5 years ago, and that young man over there named Mark came and visited me in the hospital. I'll never forget that.
I'm grateful because people like Donovan and Crenshaw here was a part of helping me get through this transition when I first got my transplant, so I'm really grateful for them.
He always told me, if you need anything, call me. It's gonna be a long road as you heal, so you just call me.
Thank you guys very much.
I love you guys.
Being a volunteer with Life Alliance has given my life purpose to be able to honor my son and keep his legacy alive. It wouldn't be possible without them. And thank you so much.
Since we've unveiled the wall, we've had the great fortune of hosting reunions between families.
Adelia Harris and Sharon Schwabenbauer are not related, but there's a very special connection here. After a healthy childhood, Harris became very ill as a young adult.
My heart was like that of a 98-year-old woman about to die.
We met Adelia and her family, who at 24, she received my son's loving heart. The family was so grateful. My family was so overwhelmed to see this young lady being active. You are so happy to see that somebody is living a life because your child was able to save them.
Harris doesn't refer to Joshua as her donor.
I like to say giver of life because it's someone who's given me a second chance at life.
I'm so proud of my son, and I'm still in touch with Adelia to this day and check up on how she's doing. And every day she's grateful, and every day I'm grateful that if I could not keep Joshua with me, at least another family gets to watch their child grow in life.
Mama happened to be there one day. Some say it was by chance. But two and two together approached Michael at the end with a shimmering pool in her eyes.
It has been an amazing journey.
She whispered soft and slow.
And
I think you have
out of
son's
Sasha's death
I'd like to say
and meeting Michael, I've met so many amazing people.
Sasha, this is mommy. I can hear you now. I hear you asking, where are you now? If love never ends, would you show us somehow?
Jordy, through your voice, through your music, and through your heart, you have brought life to very raw stories that make organ donation special and possible.
And I have to thank, Eileen for everything and her family that, for giving me this second chance of life.
Life Alliance partnered with the Stratix Group company back in 2017. We looked to meet our current at that time and future challenges.
We went through a process where we asked them their opinions, their problems, and then we set about solving those. We started with good strategic planning, a way of taking a goal and very systematically and methodically looking at how we were going to achieve it. The pillars of success for Life Alliance is their openness to change, their openness to do things differently.
The best asset that our team has is their commitment to our missions, their commitment to the sense of serving the families and the communities.
They love what they do. They're on call, and they do things because they know that the patient obviously comes first.
I think everyone there, from the leadership throughout the entire organization, has the wonderful focus that we need to have and the collaboration with the hospitals. I feel like they see it as a duty, we see it as a duty to our patients and families. We do ongoing education. So at our committee meetings, we are always arranging for Life Alliance to come and visit the staff. And they're very, very good about any training that's needed, including for the physicians.
Life Alliance was very critical in getting me as a physician up to speed in the process of how we can help with this very serious issue of organ donation. Now you see them in the hospital almost every day. And it's great that Life Alliance does this. They meet with us in various meetings once a month to let us know where the organs went.
The partnership between Life Alliance and NCH has truly evolved over the years. We've improved our process for referrals, family integration, and family approach. Patients in our community that are donor recipients have come into the hospital, shared their story, met with us, met with our staff, and put a face to the impact that organ donation has.
We have really come up a long way, and all of us should be proud of that growth.
Our team commitment throughout the past 2 years has been recognized by the Florida Sterling Council for best practices.
This means that as a part of the evaluation process, the evaluation team has identified areas where Life Alliance is absolutely exceptional. And for the last 2 years, they have been recognized as such.
Life Alliance is poised to meet the challenges of the future of the industry and meeting the needs of the community. I see organizational-wide, cross-functional deployment of the many steps that were found in our strategic planning that is rooted and based in the Baldrige criteria. And that by itself is only a promise for a brighter future and new heights for Life Alliance.
one simple question and someone saying yes to that one simple question. Would you like to give the gift of life?
Life Alliance means the world to me.
Thank you for everything you do.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I cannot say thank you enough. And it's been 45 years, and until I take my last breath, I'm going to be with you every step of the way.
Thank you for all the people that have made this possible.
We would like to see every patient transplanted, nobody losing their life on the waiting list.
I'm so proud to be part of this, and I thank you for keeping me so close to your hearts.
Thank you for all the love and all the work you do.
We're all very familiar with the names of our donor heroes, the recipients' names. None of them will ever be forgotten.
Thanks for the soldiers that were before us and the soldiers that continue to ride for Life Alliance. And thank you very much, everybody. I love you guys.
I would like to thank Life Alliance. Because of their efforts, people are getting a new lease on life that they wouldn't have had without it.
We are continuing to improve. We're all getting better at this. I think you guys have been getting better at this, and 45 years is really quite impressive. And if you think of the number of lives you saved, that's just amazing, good karma, and congratulations.
Happy anniversary, Life Alliance.
As we say in Judaism, Mazel Tov.
Congratulations, Life Alliance.
Congratulations, Life Alliance.
I want to congratulate Life Alliance.
God bless Life Alliance.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, congratulations, Leora.
Congratulations.
Congratulations on 45 years.
I wanted to congratulate Life Alliance in 45 years of service to the community.
I want to give a congratulation out to Life Alliance for the 45th, and just keep doing what you do. We love you, I love you, and please keep up the gift of life, going for those in need. Yes, yes.